Hi everyone, a very good evening. We'll wait for 2-3 minutes more. In the meantime, everyone can make sure that your friends and colleagues can be a part of this session. As soon as everyone is here, we'll quickly begin with the session. Perfect.
अच्छा इसी में जैसे मैं जितने से भी मल्टीप्लाई कराता जाऊं सेम चलता जाए
Musin, everyone, perfect. Okay.
बिना चला के देखियो इसमें
Hi everyone, I hope all of you are able to see me and able to see the presentation which has been opened up. Can I get a quick response from all of you who are live with us? You guys are able to see the presentation which has been opened up, able to see the content, and I hope you are able to hear me too. Just allow me a second. Perfect. If all of you are all set, let me know and give me a quick heads up that all of you are all set to start with the session that we have planned for you. It's going to be the very first session of your revision series workshop, which is going to be based on arithmetic. So what we have done is for the upcoming series of next 15 days, excluding the day of Diwali, I guess that is 14 and 15. We have made a 15-day schedule in which we are trying to cover up all the important modules with respect to your CAT examination, not just a topic, but let's say the whole arithmetic can be solved together. There would be some limitations with respect to time, but obviously we'll try to cover up as much as possible. And then followed by that, you will be having modules of algebra, model math, geometry, and number system. And then similarly, logical reasoning, data interpretation, and verbal ability section has also been planned up. So the very first session is going to be more inclined towards arithmetic. And I'm very sure that all of you are pretty comfortable with respect to solving arithmetic questions also. Yes or no? Can I get a quick response? Tanya, I will help you out with all the questions which you have once the entire content for the presentation that I've made gets over. Then possibly you can ask me all the questions which you have in your mind, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Okay. We know arithmetic is going to be comprising of topics like averages, ratio proportion, percentage, variation, partnership, so on and so forth. But yes, to be precise, the most important element of your arithmetics subject for your CAT examination will be only two modules. One is percentages and second is time, speed, and distance. I repeat, the two important modules that you should work on, because if your percentage has been sorted off, then possibly ratio proportion, variation, partnership, time and work, and other important modules will be taken care of well, except averages. But that's only one of those topics. Apart from that, it's only time, speed, distance, and time and work, which is going to be crucial for you examination. So there are only two things that you have to work on. I repeat, one is percentages, and second of them will be your allow me.
₹5 की चीज थी बेटा।
Okay, so I was discussing about the two important modules. One was percentages and second was time, speed, and distance. And today, it's going to be impossible to solve everything in one day of a schedule, but you should know the important patterns and the kind of question that you should be working on. My only objective is to give you the flavor of those questions which you should work on. You can work on your own permutation combination of changing the values and changing the terms, and to make a new question which you want to solve in the upcoming time that you have got. So without wasting more time, I've got a couple of important questions which for you guys. So let me start with the most easiest question that I've got for you, which is from a topic of time, speed, and distance. To set up the momentum, it is the most easiest question. So it is not going to be a monologue. I would want equal participation from you guys also. These topics will also help you out, Shivraj, for NMAT and SNAP too. Nothing to worry about. Depending on the level of difficulty, you'll be able to solve these questions quickly. Perfect. It's the easiest question that I have in the presentation for you. Very easy. The question says, the speed of a boat is 15 km/h. So it's of a topic called as upstream and downstream from your time, speed, and distance chapter of your arithmetic section. The stream flows at a rate of 3 km/h while moving with the stream. So we are talking about the downstream. The boat travels 90 km. Now going against, the question is simple, going against, which is in the upstream journey, what will be the distance covered by the same boat? The easiest question, and I have got answers from majority of you. Quite happy to see the response. Amazing. Now we know to get the distance, we should know the speed and we should know the time. I repeat, to get the distance, we should know the speed and we should know the time. Time will obviously will be the same. Utility of your upstream time will be as same as the utility of your downstream time. The only thing which is going to change is your relative speed. Obviously, when you go downstream, you're flowing along with the river stream. So obviously your speed is going to be added. So while going, you are moving at a speed of effective 18 km/h, right? And it has been said boat covers a distance of 90 km/h. So distance, if I divide by speed, I should get the time, which is nothing but 90 by 18, which is nothing but 5 hours. Now this 5 hours is going to be constant when you go upstream too. The only thing which is going to happen now is while moving in the upstream direction, the relative speed will be 15 minus 3, which is 12. Now this is my speed If I multiply with my time, which is nothing but 5, I know 12 into 5 will be nothing but 60 kilometer. The most easiest question, and I hope all of you have solved this question on their own also, right? That's the easiest question that you have seen, and I'm happy to see that all of you have solved it quickly and in a good manner. All set? All of you got the same answer? The first question that you saw was basically on time, speed, distance of a topic called as upstream and downstream. Upstream and downstream is basically a subtopic of relative speed only. So there's not much of a difference. Very easily you have solved the question. Give me a heads up if all of you have understood this. While going along with the stream, it's 15 plus 3, so it is 18. 90 is the distance. Distance upon speed will give you the time, which is nothing but 5 hours. And we know this 5 hours is going to be the time when I have to cover the distance while going upstream. So which is speed into time. While going, my effective speed is 12 into 5 will give me the speed, a total distance of how much? This is 60 kilometers per hour. Perfect. So cool. I guess the momentum has been set. Let's start solving slightly more intensive questions, which you might expect in the paper to come up. I hope all of you are able to see the screen, right? If at any point of time you understand and you feel any discomfort, let me know so that I can work on the settings from my side. Let's read the question. The question says a man initially invested 12,000. I repeat, a man initially invested 12,000 with a bank at a compound interest of 20% per annum for 5 years. If you read the question well, it says after 5 years, he uses this money to buy a car. So whatever money has been aggregated, I use this money to buy a car, but obviously it's a depreciating asset. So it's a liability. It's not even an asset, which depreciates at a rate of 10% for 2 years. After 2 years, after buying, from the time of buying the car, he sells the car for the amount that he initially invested. So it's a common hint. It's a very simple and generic hint. What would be the selling price of this car? It's going to be as simple as 12,000, what has been given to us, right? But going ahead, the question is by what percentage is the price at which the car was sold is greater or lesser than the depreciated value? Is greater or lesser than the depreciated value? All of you have read the question. Give me a heads up. All of you have read the question. Yes or no? Please make sure you are sitting in a good bandwidth of network so that unnecessarily you don't have to log in multiple times. It's going to be a disturbance for everyone as well as for you. So it says 12,000 is the initial amount which I invest in, which I put in the bank for 20% compound interest. Whatever money I got, I used to buy, I bought a car with the same amount, but the car depreciates at 10% for 2 years. After 2 years, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell off this car for the amount for which I've invested the money in the bank. The question is by what percentage is the price at which he sold the car greater than or less than the depreciated value? I hope the question is clear, right? Let's solve the question in phases. We know it's 12,000 of the amount which I have to invest. 12,000 you invest for how much? At 20%. So basically it's compounding. So it's basically 1.20 into 5. Now it's difficult for you to find the exact value of 1.20 into 5. So there's an application which is called as successive percentage change, which we saw in the morning also. Successive percentage change is given by A plus B plus A percentage of B. And I'm very sure that all of you agree that compound interest is again successive percentage changes. So what I'm going to do is 5 times I'm going to write 20, 20, 20 and 20. So make a pair of this two, make a pair of these two and leave the last one aside. So 20 and 20 on compounding will become what? 20 plus 20, 40 and then 44. So this is 44, this is 44 and this is 20. Now club this. 44 plus 44 will become 88. 88 plus 44% of 44. Tell me what is 44 square? Quickly. What is 44 square? I would want equal participation from your side. Quickly. What is 44 square? 44 to 44. It's 1936. So it's going to be 19.36. Roughly what I can do is I can add 20 to this. This will be how much? 108. So this is 108 and the last value 20 I'm bringing down. Now I'm making a pair of these two. Now 108 plus 20 will make the value as 128. Find 20% of 108. 20% of 108. It's going to be how much? 10% is how much? 10.8. So 20% would be double of 10.8. Double of 10.8 will be how much? 21.6. Roughly considered to be 20. 128 plus 22 will make the value as 150%. Ideally, 1.20 raised to 5 is roughly 1.50, which means the overall value will increase by 150%. Now, if 12,000 has to increase by 150%, 100% will be 12,000, 6,000 will be half of this, and the overall amount should be 30,000. I hope this is clear. This is the amount which I will get in the end after completion of 5-year period. Is this clear? Everyone, is this clear? What I did, is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? So it's basically successive percentage change. Whenever values are changing more than one time, you can round off the value, two values. You can round off two values. We had 12,000, 1.20 raised to 5. So I made a pair of two, 20, 20, 20, 20, and 20. Make this two as a pair, this two as a pair. 20 and 20, you have to do successive changes. A plus B plus A percentage of B. If you do this, you will get 44, 44, and 20. Club this. 44 plus 44 will make the value as 88. 44% of 44 is nothing but 44 square. 1936 upon 100 is 19.36. Rounding of the value, I'm making it as 20. So this is 108 and this is 20. Again, rounding of the value will make the value as 128 plus 20% of 108. 10% is 10.8. Double of it is 21.6. I'm looking at only integer values, so the closest integer would be 22. If you add, the value becomes 150, which means if a value becomes compounded 20% for 5 times, the final result will be 150% more. Is this clear to you guys now? Now I know 150% has to increase of 12,000. So it's going to become how much? It's going to become 30,000. It's going to become 30,000. And this 30,000 is the cost of my car, right? But 30,000 has been depreciated by 10%. By 10% for 2 years. Successive while depreciating will become minus 10 plus 10% of 10, which is how much? Minus 20 plus 1, minus 19. So this value has to decrease by 19%. So effectively, this is 30,000 into 81%. 81% of the cost price, which is as same as 19% less. 81 into 3, round off this value will become how much? 24,000. I hope this is clear. Now, what is this? This is after depreciation. This is after depreciation, right? All Anmol got the answer. Perfect. This is 24,000. So you are selling it off for 24,000. It has been said after 2 years, the car has been sold for the amount which has been invested initially. Initial amount कितना invest किया था? 12,000. और गाड़ी का depreciated cost कितना है? 24. So the question is as simple as what is 12 upon 24, which is 1 by 2, which is roughly 50%. So you will mark option number C to be the answer. Is this clear to all of you? Everyone out here, is this clear? So first we found out what is compounding of 12,000 at 20% for 5 years. We found the value to be 30,000, right? 30,000 को depreciate किया, मतलब 30,000 को 90% निकाला, उसके बाद इसका वापस से 90% निकाला. ये possibly तुम लोग शायद calculation ऐसे करते हो. I do it with successive percentage changes. So it's 19% less, roughly 20% less. 20% कम किया तो value हो गया 24,000. Simple. तो खरीदा कितने में? 12 और इन्वेस्ट वापस से कितना इन्वेस्ट किया? 12. गाड़ी कितने में depreciation के बाद cost कितना आया? 24,000. So how much less this is? This is 12,000 less on 24. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Everyone. Unless all of you are clear, I will not move ahead. So make sure all of you give me a healthy response, whether it is good, bad, ugly, whatsoever you feel. But you guys have to speak up. Is this clear to all of you? Okay. If this is clear, let's take the next question now. This was surely a round one question, not at all a difficult question. A lot of data is available, but obviously when you see this question, very well you will be able to understand that though it is slightly intensive, but provided your application has been sorted, very well you will be able to. That's what I'm saying, Pulkit. If you see the option, how do you choose a question to be done or not? When you read a question, read the options along. I repeat, Pulkit, when you read the question, you read the option along. If you see options are way much more closer, then possibly you will not even invest time. You don't have capacity to do 12,000 into 1.2 into 1.2 into 1.2 into 1.2. What we did was basically approximation. Right? So we have got 12,000, 20% for 5 years. We got the value as 30,000. 30,000 while depreciating for 10% for 2 years. We got the value on 80%, which is 24,000. So the question is, 12,000 is how much less than 24,000, which is 1 by 2. I hope this is clean and clear to everyone, right? But all of you. So I would want and urge all of you to give me healthy response. Only then we'll be able to solve these questions quickly for you guys. Okay. Let's see the next question which you can see on the screen. A good question from our topic called as time and work. It says machine A and machine B put together. I repeat, machine A and machine B put together produces 1680 components in 8 hours. Produces 1680 components in 8 hours. Machine A produces one component in 0.66 minutes, 2/3 of a minute. In which hour will both the machines finish the assignment of making 1,000 components, given a choice that machine A works first and both the machines work alternatively, which means first hour it's machine A, second hour it's machine B, third hour machine A, fourth hour machine B, likewise, so on and so forth. A simple question, but let's see if you guys can do it. So it is being told to you that machine A and B together produces 1680. So if I see the work utility of A and B together, it produces 1680 components in how many hours? 8 hours. So in 1 hour together, I repeat, in 1 hour together, how many components will be made? It's simple that 210 components will be made. I repeat, it is 210 components will be made working together, but they are working alternatively. Which means the amount of work which should have been done in 1 hour now will be done in 2 hours if they work alternatively. So in 2 hours, it's 210. In 4 hours, it's double of this. So possibly you'll say 2, 4, 6, and 8. After 8 hours, how many components have been produced? It's how much? It's going to be 840 components which will be produced. After 8 hours, 840 components will be produced. On the 9th hour, who's coming? Obviously, it's A who's coming. And let's see the utility of A. It says machine A makes one component in 0.66 minutes. So one component in 0.66 minutes. So in 60 minutes, how many components it can make? In 1 minute, one component in 0.66 minutes. So in X components in 60 minutes. How much this answer would be? 60 upon 0.66, which is 60 upon 2 by 3. If you do this, you will say it is 90, right? Sai will say, perfect, it is going to be 90. So after 9 hours, what is the total addition? Tell me how many components have been produced after 9 hours. It is 840 plus 90, which is 930. Now, how much is left? Only 70 is left. Who is going to come in 10th hour? It's B. And B, whatever the value would be about, so B would be able to complete the remaining 70 in the 10th hour. And hence, the answer which you will mark for the given question would be option number B. Is this clear? Everyone, is this clear? So, perfect. See a good question which is going to be on time, speed, and distance. See a good question which is going to be on time, speed, and distance. Let's see if you guys can understand this question, and then we'll take it live. The question says A and B started running from a common point P on a circular track. Please read the question and then try to understand and decipher what the question is about. Try to read the question and see what the question is about. It says A and B started running from a common point P on a circular track of radius, how much? 7 kilometers. But they are moving in the opposite direction. The initial speed of A and B is 11 km per hour and 22 km per hour respectively. After each hour, A increased the speed by 10%. Listen to me very clearly. After first hour, after every hour, in fact, A increased the speed by 10%. And what about B? B decreased his speed by 10% after every half an hour. After every half an hour. The question is, what is the distance that A will travel or A will cover when A and B meet for the first time? So I would need time also, I would need speed also. Only then I would be able to decipher what the distance of either A or B, whoever is traveling, would be able to cover. A and B started running from a common point P on a circular track of radius 7 km, but in the opposite direction. The initial speed of A is, and B, listen, make sure you're not making any false assumption here, is 11 km and 22 km respectively. After every hour, A increases his speed by 10%. After every half an hour, B reduces his speed by 10%. What is the distance covered by A when A and B meet for the first time? So let's say this is my point P, the starting point for A and B. A is moving in this direction, or vice versa, B is going in this direction. The speed of A here is 11 that we have to consider, and here that we have to consider is 12, right? What is the overall circumference for the circle? What is, so with the circumference is given by 2 pi r, right? So 2 into 22 by 7 into 7 will make the value as 44. So can I say when they meet for the first time? So the question is, whenever they go in the opposite direction, the inference is, when you go in the opposite direction, whenever you meet your partner for the first time, you guys together complete the overall circumference. Can I say this? You guys together complete the overall circumference, which is 44. Of this 44, possibly A is covering something and B is also covering something. But together, cumulatively, they are covering how much? 44 km. Together, they are covering how much? 44 km. Tell me after 1 hour. Tell me after 1 hour, what is the distance covered by A? Tell me after 1 hour, what is the distance covered by A? It is 11 km. Okay. Let's talk about B. B, you cannot calculate for 1 hour, but let's do it for half an hour and half an hour. For the first 30 minutes, what is the distance covered by B? What is the distance covered by B in the first 30 minutes? How much it will be? This will be 11, right? And for the next 30 minutes, I repeat, for the next 30 minutes, tell me what would be the speed of B. B is moving at 22 km per hour, but it is reducing by 10%. So we are looking at 19. So 19.8, I repeat, 19.8 will be the speed in terms of kilometer per hour. If 19.8 is covered in 1 hour, how much distance will be covered in the next half an hour? 19.8 will give you the value as 9.9. Perfect. This value would be 9.9. So what is the overall distance covered by B in 1 hour? It is going to be 20.9. It is going to be how much? 20.9. Now A is, so they both are going in opposite direction. I repeat, they both are going in opposite direction. Tell me the distance covered by A and B after 1 hour. Tell me the distance covered by A and B after 1 hour. A is going 11, B is going 19.8. What is the distance covered by both A and B together? What is the distance covered by A and B together? 31.9. How much it would be? 9.9 plus 11 plus 11. The value would be 30.9, which Gauri has answered right. Perfect. Now I wanted the distance to be covered when they meet for the first time. Let's see wherever they meet. Let's say point X. Wherever they meet for the first time, the distance which should be covered by both of them should be 44. but the actual distance covered is how much? 30.9. So what distance is still to be covered? What distance is still to be covered? This is 44 minus 30.9. What will be the distance yet to be covered by them? 44 minus, it's going to be 31.9, right? It's going to be 31.9, my bad. It's going to be 31.9. So what is the distance which is yet to be covered by A and B before they meet for the first time? 44 minus 31.9, the value would be 44 minus 31.9, the value would be 12.1. Now this is the distance which is yet to be covered. Okay. Now let's see for it. The question is about what distance. I repeat. The question is, you are right with this. It is 31.9. 31.9 on subtraction with 44 will give you the value as 12.1. Now my question is, what is the distance covered by A? Now A, what is the distance covered as of now is how much? 11. The distance covered by A as of now is how much? 11. The remaining distance which I have to cover, I will multiply speed into time. I repeat, I will multiply speed into time. Now, do I know the time? The distance which is yet to be covered is how much? 12.1. I repeat, the distance which is yet to be covered between A and B is how much? 12.1. When you go in the opposite direction, what happens to the speed? Tell me, when you go in the opposite direction, what happens to the speed? The speed will be added, right? The speed will be added. Let's see what is happening to speed of A. The speed of A for the second hour will be 11 into 1.1, which will be 12.1. The speed for the second hour at the beginning of the second hour for B will be how much? Initially, it was 19.8, which you again have to decrease by 90%. So what is 10% less on 19.8, which is roughly 1.98 less on 19.8? What will be the value? This is the speed of B that we are getting. I repeat, this is the speed of B that we are getting. Quickly, if you can tell me. Even the rough estimation will also be okay. The rough estimation would also be okay. So you guys are saying it is 18. Perfect. Now we knew. So 12.1 को मैंने 12 बना दिया, divided by 18 किया. What is this? This is distance upon speed. Will give me the time. And this is time into speed. What is the effective speed of A? What is the effective speed of A? It is 12.1 only, right? So we have got 11 plus 12 by 18 into 12. This possibly would be the distance covered by A when you meet for the first time. 12 by 18 will be how much? So we are talking about 2/3 of 12. The closest answer would be how much? The closest answer would be how much? It would be around 19. So the answer which you would be marking would be around 19.2 kilometers, which will be the distance covered by A till then. So we found the original distance which was covered by A was 11. We have to come up with the numerical figure of the distance which will be yet to be covered from the distance which has been covered post completion of the first hour, which we found out was how much? 20.9 plus 11, which was 31.9. The distance which is left is 12.1. So this is the distance which I have to cover. This is the distance which I have to cover at a relative speed of how much? This is going to be 12 plus 18. I think for the 0.40. Just a second. I think we made a small mistake here. Now yeah, of course, I think we made a small mistake here. So the relative speed will be added, right? So we had 12 and we had 18. What is 12 plus 18? 12 plus 18 is 30, not 18, my bad. So this is going to be how much? This is 6 2s, this is 6 5s. 2/5 of 12 will be how much? This is 24 by 5, which is 4.8. Roughly 5, which you can consider. So the closest answer that you can mark here would be 15.9 and not 19.2. My bad. The answer is perfect. The answer is 15.9. We made a small mistake with respect to adding up the values, which was on addition when you go in the reverse direction. So it's 12 plus 18, which will add up to 30. So 12 upon 30 into 12 will be the final answer. But is the concept clear to all of you? Is the concept clear to all of you? Now, Saurabh, ideally, if you look into the question, no, it's been told to you that B changes its speed after every half an hour, and A changes its speed after every 1 hour, right? So the overall relative speed will not be 22 for the whole 1 hour for B. It is 22 for half an hour, and then post that it's going to be 22 into 0.9, which you will consider. Is this clear? Perfect. Let's see some more questions. Let's see a silly question which you guys can solve on your own. Perfect. It's going to be quite an easy question which you guys can solve on your own. Read the question. The question says, A sells an item to B at a profit of 25%. B sells the same to C. C buys the item for 3600 after incurring a loss of 10%. And the question is simple. The question is, find the cost price for the item A. Find the cost price for item A. I want all of you answer from all of you. Come on. It's quite easy, right? So let's see for C. Now B incurred a loss of 10%. So we can say 90% of the cost is basically 36,000. So the overall price will be 40,000. So this 40,000 is basically after making a profit of 25%. So you can say 5 by 4 of A would be how much? 40,000. So this will be how much? 8 4s are 32,000, which will be the answer. I also hope all of you have got the same answer.
2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6, 2 5s are 10. बरोबर आहे ना? हा. हे झालं
All
काय?
of you,
5% I think. हा.
all of you got the same answer.
5.
I hope all of you got the same answer, right? It's 32,000, which I hope all of you got the answer right. Okay, perfect. Let's see this question, if you guys can crack this. The question says, Amol Food Processing Company received a fresh consignment of cherries from Himachal Cherry Production, our corporation, containing 8 kgs of cherries. So whatever is the total amount of cherry, it was nothing but 8 kgs of cherries. After analysis, these cherries were found to contain 99% of water. So it's a question which is 32 is right, Sagar. It's a question which has dry mass and water. So you have cherries. In cherries, you basically have some water, a huge amount of water, which is 99%, and possibly 1 or less than 1% on the dry mass, right? The question also says after 15 days, the sample of cherries from the same lot, the sample of cherries from the same lot found to contain 98% of water, found to contain 98% of water. What must be the weight of the cherries when you bought this at the time of purchase? We know it is 8 kgs. I repeat. What do we know as of now? We know it is 8 kgs which they have been purchased, right? So let's say out of 8 kg, we know 99% of A is purely water, right? So what is going to be the dry mass of the cherries? Can I say this is going to be 0.01 A, which is going to be the dry mass? Can I say 0.01%, 0.01 A? 0.99, so it's A minus 0.99 A, which on subtraction, you will get the value as 0.01 A. This is the dry mass, right? The same dry mass, which is 0.0, the question was 0.01 A, now is found to contain 98% water. Is found to contain 98% of water, but the dry mass will remain the same, right? Even if you have a lot of water coming up then, but still the dry mass will remain the same. So 0.01 A is actually representing 2% of total weight, which is the dry mass. Is this clear? I repeat, 0.01A is constituting what? 2% of the total weight, which is the dry mass. Is this clear? 98% I've excluded. The remaining value is 2% of the 2% would be either 2 by 100 or write it as 2% only of the total weight. So the question is, what is the total weight? So it's simple question, 0.01A will be 2 upon 100 of total weight. So what is the total weight? So it's going to be 0.01A into 100 divided by 2, which is nothing but A by 2. Which is nothing but A by 2. So you will mark option number 1 to be the final answer. Is this clear? So we had 99% of water. So it's basically A minus 0.99A, which I have to exclude. 0.99A is what? Is basically water, right? We are talking about the dry mass. The dry mass will be 0.01A. अब इसी में से 0.01A जो तुमको बचा, इसमें से ही तुमको बोल रहा है कि after 15 days, now it is found to contain 98% of water. It is found to contain 98% of water. If 98 is water, what is going to be the dry mass? The dry mass is going to be 2%. But this 2% will be of the total weight, right? So this is 0.01A, which is nothing but 2% of total weight. Dry mass तो उतना ही रहेगा, पानी जो है वो और कम हो चुका है. Is this clear? So 0.01A is representing 2% of the total weight. So obviously your total weight will be how much? You cross multiply and you get the answer as 0.01 into 100 divided by 2. You will mark the answer to be as. You will mark the answer to be as what? A by 2. Clear? Okay. A simple question. If you guys can solve without making any quadratic equation. So either you can make a quadratic equation to solve this question, or if you do not want to make a quadratic equation, still by using approximation, very well you'll be able to solve this question. So it says x is equal to 1 divided by 2 plus. I'll go back to the previous slide, Shruti, once this question gets over. So you will see the repetition of values is starting from here. I repeat, the repetition of x. I repeat, the repetition of x is basically starting from here. So you will consider it to be in this form. You can consider it to be in this form, right? And possibly the only thing that you have to do is solve this by using a quadratic equation. This will become what? X will be equal to 1 divided by. So this will be. So either you can solve the question by making a quadratic equation like this, or if you don't want to waste your time, possibly what you can do is, let's say if the question is only till here, the value of 1 by 2 will be how much? 0.5. So we know 0.5, whatever the answer would be, it's going to be less than 0.5. I repeat, whatever the answer would be, I repeat, whatever the answer would be, it's going to be less than 0.5 because it is 1 divided by 2 plus something. I repeat, it is 1 divided by 2 plus something. And if the question is only till here, let's say, so this will be what? It's going to be 1 divided by 2 plus 1 by 4, which is 1 divided by 9 by 4, which is nothing but 4 by 9, which is going to be how much? So 0.44. So initially it was 0.5, then it became 0.44. But obviously the subsequent values, which is going to be in the denominator, I repeat, the subsequent values which is there in the denominator will not add much of the significance in the overall value because they are possibly you can consider denominator ka bhi denominator, right? So what I can see is 0.5 का 0.4 हुआ, 44 हुआ, final answer 0.41, 0.40 के आसपास कोई एक होना चाहिए. And the only thing which you have to do is check which option is going to be close to 0.4. This cannot be the answer. This cannot be the answer. Among these two, which one will you mark? So root 2 is 1.732, right? So 2 minus 1.732 is less than 0.3. It's going to be less than 0.3. And this was 2.4 minus 2, close to 0.4. So you'll mark option number 1 to be the final answer. You'll mark option number 1 to be the final answer. Even if you solve by quadratic equation, I'm sure you'll get the same answer. Even if you solve by using quadratic equation, if you have time, you can solve this by using quadratic equation. You will have to find the roots of the given equation. You'll find it to be as option number 1, which is root 6 minus 2. (1.41). All of you got this? All of you got this answer? So I'm saying the final answer. So initially, if the question is only till here, the answer would be 0.5. If the question is only till here, you got the answer as 0.44. The value will slightly go down, but it's not going to go below 0.4 or 0.39 or something. So whatever is out of focus, you will purely exclude and eliminate, which is option 3 and 4. Among two options which you have got, this is 1.414 and this is 2.4 minus 2. So the question is, which one will you mark is the question. Which one will you mark is the question. So 2 minus 1.4 will give you how much? 0.6, slightly less than 0.6, but the value is less than 0.5. So you will possibly exclude option number 3 also directly. So the only answer which is left is root of 6 minus 2, which is root of 6 kaise nikaloge? Root of 6 is between root of 4 and root of 9. So this is 2 plus something. Take the gap of 2, 4 and 6. This is 2. Divide by the gap of 4 and 9, which is 5. So it is 2 plus 2 by 5, which is close to 2.4. So approximately we consider it to be 2.4. Is this clear, everyone? Perfect. Again, not at all a very difficult question that you can solve. You would be solving. James makes perfumes at home. I repeat. James makes perfume at home. For this, he buys fully concentrated perfumes in the bottle of 21 liters. There's 100% concentration of perfume in the bottle of 21 liters. It removes 9 liters and adds 9 liters of water to it. It again removes 9 liters of the mixture and adds 9 liters of water to it. He repeats the process one more time. So how many times did you repeat the process? You repeated the process for 3 times. The question is, what is the percentage of concentrated perfume in the mixture in the end? The question is, what is the percentage of concentrated perfume in the mixture in the end? So ideally, consider it to be this way. Let's say if there's 100%, I repeat, if there's 100% of concentration, if you remove 10% and replace it with water, the amount of concentration of perfume will be 100 upon minus 10 divided by 100, which is going to be 90 only, right? This is one time. So basically, the number of times you repeat, you increase the power that many times. So let's say what I considered is out of 100 ml of wine, if I remove 10% of wine and add water, the concentration of wine will be 90% and the water will be 10%. How did you get 90%? Which is 100 minus 10 divided by 100 only, right? In this case, what this will be about? This is 21 minus 9 divided by 21 raised to 3. 21 minus 9 will give you how much? 21 है ना? Yeah, so this is 12 upon 21, the whole cube. Now 12 by 21, if you cut the value, this will be 4 by 7. And this is 4 by 7, the whole cube. 4 by 4 cube is nothing but 64. And 7 cube, the value will be 343. So tell me the rough percentage of the given value. 10% of the given value of 343 is 34.3. Double of it, which is 20%, will be 68.6. We are looking at a value which is less than 20%. Less than 20%, there's only one option, which is 18%. Is this clear? Is this clear to everyone? A simple application which can help you out to solve this question. So from the initial quantity, whatever has been removed or interchanged, that value has been removed. 21 minus 9 divided by 21. 21 minus 9 will be 12, and this is 12 by 21, the whole cube, which is 3 4s and 3 7s. So the final concentration will be 4 by 7, the whole cube. So this is 64 divided by 343. 343 का 10% is 34.3. अगर 10% इतना है तो 20 कितना होगा? 68.6. We are looking at 64. 64 will be slightly less than 68. So the value would be less than 20%. There's only one option. So you will mark only option number 1 to be the final answer. Clear? Okay, so let's see again a question which is on time and work. And I would urge all of you to solve this question. Just take a bit of your time to read this question and then please take it live. Mrs. A weaves a cloth in the day and Mrs. B unweaves at night. So there's an important hint. It says for Mrs. A, the amount of work done on any given day is equal to the total work done, till the previous day or days, right? For example, on the third day, what percentage of work Mrs. A will do? It is equal to the amount of work done on day 1 and day 2. What work will she do on, what work will she do on day 4? It is the sum of 1, 2 and 3. So Fibonacci is going to be only for 2 of the elements. This is the sum of all the previous elements. Anmol. So it is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this going on. It has been said, Mrs. A and B started to work on day 1 with the same efficiency. So the amount of work done by A and B on the given day is same. Also, Mrs. B can complete her work in 8 days. Working with the same efficiency on all the days, how many days will it take to complete the piece of work, what they have got? The efficiency is same, right? So let's start from the point what they have mentioned and they have given us. It has been said efficiency of A and B is same. Has it been told to you guys? Yes or no? So efficiency of A and efficiency of B is same, right? Yes or no? Which is 12.5 and 12.5. The only thing which will change now is, Sarath, A is plus 2.5 and B is minus 12.5. Is this clear? A is plus 12.5 and B will be minus 12.5. And we have to understand on what day the work will be completed. Let's say with A and B, and let's see what is the total work done, right? On day 1, A will do 12.5% of positive work, B will do 12.5% of negative work. So can I say the effective work done on day 1 is 0%? Can I say the effective work done on day 1 will be 0%? Yes or no? If yes, tell me the amount of work done by A on day 2. Amount of work done by A on day 2. Amount of work done by A on day 2 will be how much? This is again going to be 12.5 only. Because the total work that is being done till the previous day was 12.5. And B will again be 12.5. Again, the total work done will be 0%. Now tell me on day 3, what is the amount of work done by A? What is the amount of work done by A? Day 3 is the addition of first 2. This is 25. And B will be minus 12.5. Total work plus 12.5. Right? Day 4. Amount of work done by A, 25 plus 12.5 plus 12.5 will make the value as 50%. And what about B? Minus 12.5. Total work plus 37.5. Right? What is the amount of work done by A on day 5. What is the amount of work done by A on day 5? 50 plus 25 plus 12.5 plus 12.5. So this is going to be 100%. So possibly all of us will mark the answer to be as 5 days. All of us will mark the answer to be as 5 days. But the answer is not 5 days though, because let's see the amount of work which has been done till now. Till day 4, what is the amount of work which has been done? 37.5 plus 12.5, which is 50%. Which means 50% of the work has been done. How much is left? 50%. D5 on day 5, A can complete 100%. He has to complete how much? Only 50%. So he's going to take only half of the given day. I repeat, only half of the given day. So you will mark option number C to be the final answer. So you will mark only option number C to be the final answer. Is this clear? See, Nandita, it has been told to you, the amount of work, the work done on any day is equal to the total work done by A till the previous days. So on day 2, the previous day's total work is 12.5. So on day 2 also, A will do 12.5, no? So उससे एक दिन पहले जितना भी किया है वो वापस से करेगा. So day 2 से पहले it's day 1, so 12.5, again 12.5. Day 3 is 12.5 plus 12.5. Day 4 is 25 plus 12.5 plus 12.5. Is this clear to all? Everyone, is this clear? All of you got the answer? If you got the answer? From where you got 1 by 8, it is being told to you, no? The efficiency of A and B is same. So B can complete a work in 8 days. So 1 day work will be 1 by 8. Saurabh, let's see the amount of work which has been done till day 4. 37.5 plus 12.5, which is 50%. 50 is done. So 50 ho gaya, to baki kitna hai? 50%. One complete day A can do 100%. You'll not even do that. No, yahi tak khatam ho jayega tera. You till what stage do you have to go? Till you complete 100%, right? So it has been said A does his work in the morning and B does the same work at night. So why do I have to go till night? Is this clear? The work should be done 100%. No? Till that stage only you will consider. Is this clear to all of you? Okay, I'll go to question on time, speed and distance again. If you can see this, it's a conceptual driven question, so not much of the calculation would be required for you guys to, which is not going to be a toll on you. See this? Two towns A and B are 180 kilometers apart. I repeat, two towns A and B are 180 kilometers apart. Car 1 and car 2 starts traveling from A and B respectively towards each other. The speed is in the ratio of 1:2. They start their journey at 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. respectively. So wherever they meet, that point is point C. They, after meeting at point C, they return to the starting position and again start traveling towards each other. In order to meet car 1 for the second time at C, for the second time at C, car 2 halts at C, which means car 2 will take less time to reach C even for the second time. How much time does it halt for? The question is, how much time does it halt for? The question is, how much time does it halt for? Anyone who visualized what the value will be about? You're talking about two towns, which is A and B. The distance between them is 180 kilometers. And this is my car 1. This is my car 2. Car A moves at 7 a.m. Car B moves at 8 a.m. And obviously they're going in the opposite direction, so they will meet. The speed of car 1 versus car 2 is nothing but 1:2. It is moving at 7 a.m. It is moving at 8 a.m. So obviously, let's say this is the point C. Let's assume this is the point C, right? This is the point C which we have got. Again, I'll repeat, it's a conceptual question, not a technical question. The question is, so you meet for the first time. Some people, what you will do is, you will first find the meeting time. How much time is it going to take for A and B to meet? And then you will go reverse, covering X distance and plus X distance back, Y distance and Y distance back, right? Okay, let's say, if I, can I say this? Let's say, I'm giving you a hypothetical case. Let's say the meeting time is 10 a.m. It's a hypothetical case. Let's say the meeting time is 10 a.m. If the meeting time is 10 a.m., can I say B travels for 2 hours and C travels for 3 hours? Can I say if the meeting time is 10 a.m.? If the meeting time is 10 a.m., can I say B will travel for 2 hours and A will travel for 3 hours? So whatever the meeting time may be, can I say to come to the point C, if B take Y hours, A will take Y plus 1 hour? Can I say if B takes Y hours, then A will take Y plus 1 hour? Yes or no? Okay. Now after Y plus 1 and Y hours, I come and meet this at this point C. After coming to point C, I go back and come back. I repeat, I go back and come back. Do you think the amount of time which I will take now will be 2y for B? Can I say the amount of time for going back and coming back will be nothing but 2y? Yes or no? Yes or no? To cover one time, you took y. To cover the same distance 2 times, you will take 2y, right? And what about A? C to A and back to C will be 2 times y plus 1. Ritesh got the answer. This is 2y plus 2. And this is only 2y. So what is the additional time that A has taken? A has taken 2 hours more. So who has to wait? B has to wait. Car 2 has to wait. For how many hours? 2 hours. Is this clear? Should I re-explain or is this clear? So 2y is the time taken by car 2. Is this clear to you guys or should I re-explain? So if B is taking y hours, A will take y plus 1 hour. After coming from C to B and going back to C, obviously car 2 will take how much time? Double the original time, right? Which is 2y. And car 1 will also take double the original time, which is 2 times y plus 1. So it is 2y plus 2 hours, and this is only 2y. What is the additional hour that you have to wait? It's 2 hours. And who's waiting? C is waiting. So for how much time did C had to wait? It's visible that it's 2 hours. Clear? Is this clear to all? We'll do this question possibly sometime later. Very simple question. This is on partnership. No, there's not a partnership. Let's see the question. The question says, a money lender lent a total amount of 47,000 to A, B, and C at an interest of 5%, 3%, and 4% per annum respectively. So the respective rate has been given to you as 5, 3, and 4. If the amount of time given to A, B, and C is 7, 10, and 5 hours and 5 years. And the same amount of interest, I repeat, the same amount of interest has been paid back by A, B, and C at the respective rate of interest and the respective time of 5 into 7, 3 into 10, and 4 into 5. The amount is same. The amount of interest is same. Find the amount borrowed by C. Find the amount borrowed by C. Find the amount borrowed by C. So it has been, the only thing that they have told you is A plus B plus C is 47,000. I repeat, the only thing that they have told you is A plus B plus C is 47,000. But obviously when the interest paid is same, you can consider, so your SI is nothing but P into N into R, right? It's P into N into R, which you will consider. So let's say, let's assume possibly, let's say A, B, and C is my capital borrowed by A, B, and C. A, B, and C is the capital borrowed by A, B, and C. So what you have got, 5A into 7 will be as same as 3B into 10 will be as same as 4C into 5. So 35A will be equal to 30B will be equal to 20C will be equal to K, right? Now they're asking about C, so possibly we can relate A and B in terms of C. So A will be what? A will be 20C by 35 and B will be what? 20C by 30. So this is 4 by 7C and B will be 2 by 3C. You have the answer then. Now you put up those values back, no? 4 by 7C plus 2 by 3C plus C will be equal to 47,000. And obviously if you solve this, you will get the value of C, whatever the value comes up. What is the final value that you guys are getting? The amount of interest is same. So we are basically considering P and R to be constant. P into N into R is same. What is P? It is the amount lent to A, B, and C, which we have considered to be small a, small b, small c. So 5 into A into 7 is equal to 3 into B into 10 is equal to 4 into C into 5 is equal to the constant. 35A is equal to 30B is equal to 20C. So A in terms of C, B in terms of C, you have the value. Putting the values in A plus B plus C is equal to 47,000. You will get the answer quickly. If you got the answer, all of you got the answer. Perfect. Okay. Again, the question which you can see is, again, not a very difficult question. Slide calculations and you'll be able to get the answer quickly. But this would require some bit of calculation. Avni bought a yellow sari, a green sari, and a red sari at equal cost and sold 3 to Panna, all the 3 to Panna at respective 20% profit, 10% loss, and 30% profit. Panna sold the saris to Harsha at 20% profit, 30% profit, and 20% loss. What is the percentage? Did the total cost of these saris change when Harsha bought them as compared to the cost of when Avni bought them? What would be this question up to? So you start with Avni, right? Avni has sold it to Panna and Panna has sold it to Harsha, right? We are talking about a yellow sari, a green sari, and a red sari. It has been told to you that the cost price is same. So if I consider it to be 100, 100, and 100, and let's see the profit percentage, this is 1.20, So here the selling price would be 120, 10% loss would be 90, and then 30% profit will be 130. Now let's see from Panna to Harsha what the value is about. Now we are talking about this part, which is 120. 120 पे कितना increase हो रहा है तुम्हारा 20%, right? So make it 1.20. What is the final answer you guys are getting quickly? 30% profit, and then you're making 10% loss. So it's going to be 80%. So this will be 104. 117, 144. Total initial cost price is 300. What is this value getting added up to? What is this value getting added up to? 144 plus 117 plus 104. 365. So 300 is becoming 365. Increment of 65 on 300. The final answer would be? The final answer would be how much? 21.6 roughly. So not a very difficult question, but a bit of calculation and you guys are sorted to solve this. But simple, quite simple. Okay, let's take a good question, which is going to be on. So if your concepts are strong of time, scale and distance, you will not take more time to solve these kind of questions, which you may expect on the paper. But if your concepts are not in that great shape, then possibly you would have to work on calculation part of TSD and then solve the question. Read the question and then tell me the answer. People start their journey from point A to point B with the initial speed of 10 km/h each. I repeat, two people start their journey from point A to point B with the initial speed of 10 km/h. The first person increases his speed by 10 km/h after every successive 10% of distance till B. I repeat, the first person increases his speed by 10 km/h after every successive 10% of the distance till B, right? Whereas the second person increases his speed by 10 km/h after every successive 10% of time. The only difference is first one is increasing by 10%. It's not an it's 10% is increasing after every 10 kilometers increasing after every 10% of distance. Second person is increasing 10 km/h after every successive 10% of time. The question is who will reach B fast? So they both are starting from the same point. So the question is they both are starting from the same point. This is the point to begin with for A and B. The respective speed is also same, which is 10 kmph, and this is also 10 kmph. So the first one is increasing by 10 km/h after every 10% increase in distance. After every 10% increase in distance. Second is after 10% increase in time. So possibly you can say, okay, in the first case, we can consider the case where the distance is constant, after which the speed is increasing. Second is the case where the time is increasing, time is constant, right? On this case, we have to find out who is reaching B faster, who is reaching the point B faster, right? Person 1 and person 2. We can infer person whose average speed, I repeat, we can infer the person whose average speed is greater, that person will reach B faster. Can I say this? Person with a higher average speed, I repeat, person with higher average speed would be able to reach B faster, right? Yes or no? A person with higher average speed, do you think will be able to reach B faster? Yes or no? Okay. So what happens to the average speed? What happens to the average speed when the distance is constant? Do we say the average speed is nothing but the harmonic mean of respective speed values, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, going on till n? So can I say in the first case, this is going to be the harmonic mean of the values of individual speed? Yes or no? So in the first case, where the speed is increasing after every successive 10% of distance, can we say the average speed is nothing but the harmonic mean of the individual speed? Yes or no? You guys solve the question like this only, right? 2ab divided by a plus b, right? So that's case number one. And what is case number two? What happens if time is constant? 1 hour, second hour, third hour, fourth hour, fifth hour, sixth hour. Speed 10 kilometer, 20 kilometer, 30, 40, 50, 60. If I have to find the over average speed, this is total distance upon total time, which is 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 60 divided by 1, divided by what? The number of units, right? First hour, second hour, third hour, fourth hour, sixth hour. So can I say if the time is constant, the average speed, if time is constant, the average speed will be what? The average speed will be the arithmetic mean of the individual speed. Yes or no? All of you, yes or no? Now it's a simple application. Tell me if you guys have solved progression in series for given set of values, what is more? Arithmetic mean is more or harmonic mean is more? For a given set of value, arithmetic mean is more or harmonic mean is more? We understand arithmetic mean will be more than the harmonic mean, right? Arithmetic mean is going to be for which value? Which is for the second case, which is for B. So it is the second person who will reach faster. So it is the second person who will reach faster. Why? Because his average speed will be greater than that of the average speed of A. So B will reach faster. Is this clear? We know AM is more than that of HM. So for the same set of values, individual speed 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, the arithmetic mean will be more than the harmonic mean. Arithmetic mean is that for the case of time. Time is for the second person, so it's the second person who will reach faster. Is this clear to all of you? Good enough. Okay. Take this question now. Read the question. The question says Saurabh hosted a party for which he bought 13 liters of Pepsi, 16.4 liters of Fanta, whatever, and 18.8 liters of Sprite. With this, he made 4 bottles. I repeat. The question says Saurabh hosted a party for which he bought 13 liters of Pepsi, 16.4 liters of Fanta, and 18.8 liters of Sprite. With this, he made 4 bottles, one of Pepsi, one of Fanta, one of Sprite, and second or last of Blossom. Blossom is a mixture of Sprite and Fanta. I repeat, Blossom is a mixture of Sprite and Fanta. After filling 4 bottles, I repeat, after filling 4 bottles, all having the same quantity to drink. I repeat, all the 4 bottles which has been made are having the same quantity to drink. Saurabh was left with equal quantity. Saurabh was left with equal quantity of Pepsi, Fanta, and Sprite. Pepsi was nowhere involved in making Blossom because Blossom has been made up of Sprite and Fanta. The final question is, what is the quantity of each drink Saurabh was left with in the end? What is the quantity of each drink Saurabh was left with in the end. So initially you've got 13 liters of Pepsi, 16.4 liters of Fanta, and 18.8 liters of Sprite. With this, you made 4 bottles: Pepsi, Fanta, Sprite, and Blossom. Blossom is a mixture of Sprite and Fanta. After filling 4 bottles, all are having equal capacity to drink, right? Saurabh is left with equal quantities of Pepsi, Sprite, and Fanta. So whatever is the limit, I'll repeat, I'll give you a hint. Whatever is the limit for Blossom, that will decide the equal composition of all the 4 bottles. And whatever is the equal composition of all the 4 bottles will decide what is left in the end. So we have got Pepsi, then we have got Fanta, and then we have got Sprite. This is 13, this is 16.4, and this is 18.8. Now Sprite and Fanta have been mixed to make Blossom. Blossom is a mixture of Sprite and Fanta. After filling 4 bottles, all having equal size, Saurabh is left with equal quantity of Pepsi, Sprite, and so Blossom कहाँ से बना है? Blossom obviously Sprite and Fanta से बना हुआ, right? तो जितना भी Blossom तुम्हारे पास बना होगा, पहला कैपेसिटी क्या होगा? देखो, जो तुम्हारा Pepsi हो तो untouched है, right? Pepsi is untouched. So let me bring it to the original capacity what Pepsi has. Let me bring it to the original capacity of what Pepsi has, which is 13, 13, and 13. अगर 13, 13 अगर Sprite और Fanta में से छोड़ू तो बचा कितना? इसमें से कितना गया? Fanta में से कितना गया? 3.4. And Sprite में से कितना गया? Sprite में से कितना गया? So Sprite was 18.8. Sprite was 18.8. कितना गया? So it's 5.8. So 5.8 plus 3.4, the value will become how much? 5.8 plus 3.4, the value will become how much? This will be the value of Blossom, which I am considering here. This will be 9.20, right? Now ये 13 अब भी 9.20 के ऊपर. I want all 4 of them. I repeat, I want all 4 of them to be of equal size. Capacity same है. तो इसको 9.2 पे लेके आ गए. तो ये भी 9.2 का ओरिजिनल होना चाहिए था. ये भी 9.2 का होना चाहिए था. ये भी 9.2 का होना चाहिए था, right? तब इसमें से बाकी कितना है तुम्हारे पास? The answer is simple now. 9.2 तुमने यूज किया हुआ है. तुम्हारे पास था कितना? 13. तो कितना बचा तुम्हारे पास? कितना बचा तुम्हारे पास? Simple. The value is 13 minus 9.2. The value would be 3.8, which you have, which is left in the end, not in the 4th bottle, because Blossom's limit will decide what is going to be the equal capacity of all 4 of them, which was 9.2. So इसलिए Blossom तो बचेगा नहीं ना. You have got equal of Sprite, Fanta, and Pepsi, which is 9.2, 9.2, 9.2 minus 13, which will give you the answer to be as 3.8. A simple question, but roughly will take 40-50 seconds for you to think, rethink, and then solve the question. Okay, easy question on profit and loss. If you guys can solve this. This one is shopkeepers sells sugar at the cost price but makes 25% profit by 40 weights. By 40 weights. He then decides to give the discount to attract more customers. What percentage of discount should he offer to ensure that he makes 12% profit in the end? To make 12% profit in the end. एक simple सा logic बताओ. 25% profit अगर कमाना है, so 40 weight कितना कम होगा? If profit is to be 25%, the weight should be how much less? The weight should be 20% less. मान लो the actual weight is जो तुमने use किया वो 800 था और दिखाने के लिए तुमने बोला 1000 grams, right? दिखाने के लिए कितना बोला? 1000 grams. Now obviously this is your cost price. Your cost price is 800, but you are selling 800 for how much? You are selling 800 for 1000, right? You're selling 800 for 1000 rupees क्योंकि तुमने दिखाया वो 1000 ग्राम है, तो 1 rupee per ग्राम के हिसाब से 1000 rupees चार्ज किया हुआ है, राइट? तो यहाँ तो तुम्हारा प्रॉफिट 25% आ चुका है, लेकिन तुमको चाहिए कितना? 12%. 12% चाहिए कितने पे? 800 पे, because my cost price is still 800, right? So what is 12% of 800? What is 12% of 800? Which is 96. So the value would be 896. The value is 896. So तुमको 1000 से 896 पे आना है. कितने से value कम होगी is the only question. Value कितने से कम होगी is the only question. So it's 104 upon 1000. The answer is 10.4%. A easy question, which I hope all of you have solved this. I hope all of you who are live have solved this question, right? So you are using faulty weights. So instead of 1000, you are giving only 800, right? You are charging 1 rupees per gram के हिसाब से 1000 rupees, but you know the cost price is only 800. You make profit on cost price. So 800 plus 12% more will make the value as 896. Now you want to offer on 896, Puneet. So you are giving some discount on the selling on the mark price, right? Which was 1000. So kitna kam? 1000 minus 896 upon 1000. So which is 104. Sorry. And I think we have solved a good number of questions for today. I'll take a leave and I'll see you tomorrow in the upcoming class. If you have any feedback, if you want me to cover some more content, let me know so that I can cover up those content which is going to be required for you. Any other feedback will be welcome. Make sure that you are following for the next consecutive days for the upcoming series of workshops that we have planned up. Perfect. And on this note, I'll take a sign off and I'll see you next time. Thank you all of you.